genius. To his surprise, the legendary creator was much younger than he had expected, and was quick to shake his hand and exchange a polite greeting. Nazcal was about to ask about the works he was exhibiting in the council, when the whole room became silent. Everyone whispered that Gaudeamus had just arrived. At that moment, the confused Nazcal understood what they meant, and a chill of terror ran through his spine. The person he was talking with was not a living being, but a doll. Work of Gaudeamus was what he had heard the people say before. Even if it was only for a moment, the mere idea that he had not noticed such a thing overwhelmed the mind of the puppet master. Frantically, his eyes began to gaze closely at all the works exhibited by Gaudeamus. The mere sight of them burned his retinas, but at the same time, he was unable to look away. The feeling of anxiety that oppressed his chest grew until it became pain. He even had trouble breathing in the same room that stored such wonders. Unable to wait any more, he staggered out of the room and did not stop running until he was outside. Then, Nazcal cried and laughed as hard as he could. He had been blind all this time. In his egotism, he thought he was on top of the world when he was only standing on a small hill. Only in that moment did he realize that his work was far from having reached its full potential. That night would change his life completely. He would create greater works. He would surpass Gaudeamus, surpass them all. From that moment, his obsession would be perfection. Nascal entered the hall where the Council of Brax was. The entity linked to this place is a psycho. Nascal suddenly awoke. For months, he had been unable to sleep well, and that night had been particularly bad, something which he blamed on the emotion of being so close to finishing his work. Washing his face, he noticed how terrible he looked in